Hey there, photography enthusiasts. Joe here from Shutter Speed Photography. It's fantastic to see your smiling faces back on YouTube. Today, we are diving into a lens that's been creating quite the buzz in the wildlife and sports photography circles, the Nikon Z 180 to 600 f5.6 to 6.3 zoom lens. So is this the super telephoto zoom lens for your Nikon Z camera? Let's find out. Let's kick things off with a quick rundown of the key specs. This lens offers a versatile 180 to 600 millimeter focal length with a variable aperture of f5.6 at the wide end to 6.3 at full zoom. In terms of build quality and design, it's constructed with 25 elements in 17 groups, including 6 ED elements and 1 spherical element, and it ensures high quality images. The lens features internal zooming, which means it doesn't extend as you zoom, a big plus for balance and durability. And in terms of size and weight, it measures approximately 12.5 inches in length and weighs in at about 4.7 pounds or 2,140 grams. That's relatively lightweight for its class, making it manageable for handheld shooting. In terms of key features, the lens boasts vibration reduction, VR, stabilization, rated up to 5.5 stops, ensuring sharp images even at slow shutter speeds. It also includes 4 customizable function buttons around the front, providing you quick access to your preferred settings. A feature that I particularly liked is the compatibility with both the 1.4 and 2x teleconverters. Adding the 2x teleconverter extends the reach to an impressive 1200 millimeters, making it perfect for capturing distant subjects. The pros of using teleconverters include enhanced reach without sacrificing the convenience of the zoom range. However, cons include a reduction in maximum aperture, which can affect low light performance and autofocus speed. And, well, the lens by itself would be 180 to 600 millimeter, f5.6 to 6.3. The lens with the 1.4x teleconverter is 252 to 840 millimeters at f8 to f9. And then the lens with the 2x teleconverter becomes 360 to 1200 millimeters, f11 to 12.7, although software tends to round that up to f13. So what about my first impressions? So the lens feels solid and well balanced on the camera, especially a Z9, with a comfortable grip and intuitive controls. The internal zoom keeps the lens's length constant, which is great for maintaining balance, especially when using a tripod or a monopod. And in terms of its competitors, within Nikon's lineup, there's the Nikon Z 100 to 400 millimeter f4.5 to 5.6 VRS lens, which offers a shorter focal range, but a slightly faster aperture. Now, for third-party options, brands like Tamron and Sigma have yet to release direct equivalents for the Nikon Z mount, so making this lens offering kind of unique in its category. Now, let's talk about what really matters. The image quality. Sharpness. The lens delivers impressive sharpness through its zoom range, particularly between 180 millimeter to 400 millimeter. Now, beyond 500 millimeter, there's a slight dip in sharpness, but it's still very respectable. In terms of color rendition and contrast, colors are rendered naturally with good dynamic range and contrast, providing vibrant and lifelike images like you would expect from the Nikon Z series. In terms of bokeh, thanks to its 9-blade rounded diaphragm, the lens produces smooth, creamy background blur, making your subjects pop against a beautifully defocused background. And what about focus breathing? For video shooters, there's minimal focus breathing, meaning the framing doesn't noticeably shift when you're adjusting focus. That's a big plus for videography. But I don't see this lens being used too often for video. All right, Chromatic aberration and distortion. The lens handles chromatic aberration well with minimal color fringing. Distortion is also well controlled, ensuring straight lines remain straight. But what about autofocus performance? Well, when it comes to autofocus, in terms of speed and accuracy, the stepping motor provides fast and accurate autofocus, capable of locking onto subjects quickly and maintaining focus with relative ease. In terms of low light performance and dim lighting condition, the lens performs admirably, though the variable aperture means you're going to need to manage your ISO and your shutter speeding settings to maintain that optimal exposure. And in terms of build and handling, well, let's delve into the build and handling aspects. In terms of ergonomics, the lens is designed to be comfortable handheld shooting with a well-placed zoom ring that requires less than a quarter turn to go from 180 millimeter to 600 millimeter, a feature that makes quick adjustments a breeze. And in terms of the control ring, the customizable control ring allows for manual adjustments such as aperture or exposure compensation, providing flexibility in various shooting scenarios. I tend to shut that control ring off, but that's me. In terms of durability, while this lens is not classified as part of Nikon's premium S line, the lens features weather sealing and a fluorine-coated front element, offering a degree of protection against the elements. So what are some real-world use cases for this lens? Well, in practical terms, this lens shines in several areas. Wildlife photography. The extensive zoom range allows you to capture subjects from a distance without disturbing them, making it ideal for wildlife enthusiasts. Of course, sports photography. The fast autofocus and the reach enable you to capture action-packed moments on the field or the court with clarity. And definitely bird photography. The ability to quickly zoom in and out helps in tracking and photographing birds in flight, ensuring you don't miss the shot. Its versatility occurs across these scenarios makes it a valuable addition to any photographer's kit. Let me show you a few shots in Lightroom. All right, so first up we have a photograph of a Malaysian tapir. It's kind of a teenage tapir. Actually, you can tell that this is a teenager because you can still see the spots. Actually, tapirs are born all black with white spots, and then they grow into that half black, half white coat. Kind of rare that you see them in the United States. I think there's only a handful of zoos in the entire country that actually have them. So I don't know. I just kind of really dig them. So that's your first shot right there. And it's a nice one. And I'm going to say this is going to be at, 180 millimeter. And again, at 180 taper, you can still see the black and white spots there as she starts to grow up. Nice, sharp shot. And one more just because tapers are awesome. But yeah, so again, at 180 millimeter, you can see nice, sharp eye and focus there. And of course, as we would expect. But now, here's where the lens really shines. 500 millimeter. Now, I'm able to zoom right in on the orangutan and really get this great cool shot that I would not have been able to get if I had a 70 to 200 without really losing a lot of detail because I'd have to crop in so much. So and if you're looking, if we really look at the detail that we're getting at 500 millimeter, just having this extra reach is just absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed walking around with it. And yep, it's heavier than, pretty much any other lens that I normally would walk around with. But when it's worth it, you don't mind. And in this case, it's worth it. So here we are again at 450 millimeter. Again, just having that real extra reach. So again, if I had a 70 to 200, I could get only to 200. Now I'm going to 450. So more than double what I would have gotten to get right in on the shot here. You could just see again, just great detail. The lens just does a beautiful job. Same thing here with the birds. A nice sharp focus on the birds. We can see a lot of detail on the feathers there. And this is at 320 millimeter. And again, just a really, really pretty shot. The color saturation here is just phenomenal. And we can reach out again, 390 millimeter to get to giraffe and really get a real good look at him right here at 350 millimeter. So again, we're really just really able to get a real nice, close, sharp image. And look at the background. Look at the blur. That soft bokeh from the 9-blade aperture system in the lens just really gives you that beautiful, soft, out of focus bokeh in the background. Real nice. So, and then just nice sharp edges. And you're noticing here, no chromatic aberration or anything like that. Just real nice sharp edges. And now 600 millimeters. So now, all right, there's no way we're getting the shot, but we can reach all the way out to 600 millimeter and almost fill the frame. And look at the beautiful shot that we're getting here. Without that ability to have to worry about, zooming in and cropping, we're just able to really look how sharp the eye is. We're really able to pull a beautiful image at 600 millimeter, and that's where it's all worth it. And you can see just how crisp and sharp, and again, no chromatic aberration along the edges or anything like that. Just a really, really nice image. And we could just crop the rest of this out and just really focus on the animal here, and we'd have a real nice image. All right, some elephants at 530 millimeters, so they're real far out there. And again, we're just pulling all this beautiful detail because we're able to zoom in so far. And look, even the hairs on the back of the elephant all visible there. Really nice. Really nice. One of my favorite birds, the shoebill stork, just so prehistoric looking. I just love these. And in this, I am shooting through a chain link fence. I am shooting at 180 millimeter at f5.6, so wide open for this lens. And you kind of want to do that when you're shooting through a fence. And actually what's happening here, it's a little bit of physics involved, but because of the depth of field, the depth of field is so far away from the fence that the fence is actually so far out of focus that it actually becomes basically invisible to the camera. And we're able to get actually a really beautiful image of the shoebill stork. And 5.6 at 180 millimeter, and we're pulling up just a really, real pretty image. This bird was actually out in the wild. This is not at the zoo. This is out in the wild. And at f8 at, let's see, 430 millimeter. Now this one I just happened to catch, and this one I did a little cropping in, and I ran it through Topaz Photo, just to Photo AI, to kind of clean up the image a little bit and add a little bit of sharpening to it and a little bit of noise reduction, because I did like it. And so it was shot at 600 millimeter at 1/1000th of a second at f7.1 at ISO 3200. I just happened to be out and early in the morning and caught this osprey locked in battle with this snake. And, this went on for several minutes. And drop me a note in the comments. Let me know who you think won this battle, and I'll let you know if you were right. But it was quite the capture. I was a little bit nervous watching it. I got to be honest with you. I'm really not a big fan of snakes, and I just wanted to go out there and help the bird. But there's no way to do that. And, again, it's 600 millimeter. It's pretty far away. All right, so I want to show you this. All right, so this is the moon at 600 millimeter. Right, now I'm going to drop the teleconverter on it and pull it out to 1200 millimeter. So just right there, look at the size difference. Now we do go down all the way to what the software interprets as f13, although it's really 12.7, but no big deal, right? And then I just centered and zoomed in a little bit. Quick run through Topaz Photo AI for a little added sharpness. And I don't really want to say there was any noise reduction. I don't really think there was much noise, but look at this image of the moon at 1200 millimeter. I was able to capture. It's just stunning. I mean, look at you can see depth in the craters along the edge of the moon. It's incredible. I mean, at this point, is it a camera lens or is it a telescope? Because I tell you what, it blows me away to be able to grab an image like this with, a relatively inexpensive lens. All right, let's talk about pros and cons. Let's break down the advantages and potential drawbacks. In terms of the pros, it's versatile focal length from 180 to 600 millimeter. The internal zoom design, maintaining balance and preventing dust ingress. It's effective vibration reduction system, and it's relative lightweight for a super telephoto zoom. It's smooth and responsive autofocus performance, and its compatibility with the 1.4 and 2x teleconverters, extending reach all the way up to 1200 millimeter, are all the pros of this really great lens. Now, in terms of cons, of course, the variable aperture of f5.6 to 6.3 is going to limit low light performance. There is a slight decrease in sharpness beyond 500 millimeter, and the tripod collar is not Arca Swiss compatible, which is going to require an additional accessory for some users if you want that. I just personally bought one and put it on here permanently. It maybe cost $8. It's on here forever now. And of course, a con would be also using teleconverters. It's going to reduce your maximum aperture and potentially impacting autofocus speed and, of course, your low light performance. Value and performance. Considering its features and performance, the Nikon Z 180 to 600 millimeter f5.6 to 6.3 VR lens offers excellent value for money. Priced at approximately $1,700 US, it provides a cost-effective solution for photographers seeking a super telephoto zoom without breaking the bank. All right, so my rating? Let's rate this lens across several key categories. First, image quality. In terms of sharpness, there's excellent sharpness and color rendition with minor softness beyond 500 millimeter, so I'll give it 4 out of 5. In terms of autofocus, I'm going to rate this lens 5 out of 5. I felt autofocus was fast, accurate, and reliable in various conditions. In terms of build and handling, I'm going to give it 4 stars. Solid construction with a thoughtful design throughout, although the tripod collar could be improved. In terms of value for money, 5 out of 5. This lens offers exceptional performance at a reasonable price point. And in terms of versatility, again, 5 out of 5, suitable for a wide range of photography genres, from wildlife to sports. My final thoughts, to wrap it up, the Nikon Z 180 to 600 millimeter f5.6 to 6.3 VR is a formidable lens that offers exceptional performance and versatility at a reasonable price. It's a worthy addition to any Nikon Z shooter's arsenal, especially those passionate about capturing distant subjects in stunning detail. If you found this review helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more gear reviews, and drop your thoughts or your questions in the comments below. As you know, if you follow the channel, I try and answer as many of you as I can, and I love it when you say hello. So, hey, until next time, YouTube, thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and happy shooting.